What's going on, guys? It's definitely been a while since I've done a video, dude. It feels so weird after like a month of not uploading, like doing like a commentary. But as you guys know, we won the world championship. World champions. Let's go. In this video, I just want to kind of talk about everything that happened, my thoughts on the tournament. Sorry for my voice. I'm a bit sick. We were basically sick the whole tournament and still trying to recover from that. So if I like sniffle, you hear that. But overall, man, like it was a crazy experience. Honestly, I really no words to talk about. But I would say I can start from the beginning of the whole trip. Give the whole rundown, because I'm sure I'll watch this video in my future too, and for you guys to watch and know from my perspective of how we performed. As generically as possible, I can say, and obviously in the future I can go into specifics. But starting from day one, we came there, and when we came to the airport, man, like we came to the guy sent us to the wrong hotel, so that was off to a bad start. And yeah, we went to the wrong hotel, like 30 minutes away from the regular hotel. It was like 40 minutes, so we were 40 minutes to the right hotel. Leading up to the tournament, like we were scrimming against a few other teams, and when we were scrimming these teams, we were kind of surprised how not like weak they were, but how much easier it was to play them than NA teams. That's the first thing we noticed as a team. It's not discredit to other teams. It's just weird. You think the level would be the same, but it wasn't in the scrims, and obviously we're playing on hotel Wi-Fi, so it definitely made a difference on land. So when we scrimmed like the Eastern teams, it felt weirder to play them, and they had definitely brought a lot of different strategy, especially flashbangs, something that I'd never experienced in my life. Scrimming them gave us a good idea how we would match up against them. And honestly, like leading up to the tournament, like I thought it was going to be very difficult because the best teams over there are obviously really talented, and when we scrimmed those teams, the best of the East or whatever, I feel like after scrimming them give our team more confidence going into those matchups, and which was actually a bad thing, which I'll explain in a bit. So anyways, the next day we just scrimmed all day, and then on the first day of competition we had Q9, and obviously it's like a big matchup leading into it. This is a big matchup right here. Everyone wanted to watch this match, and it was funny because like we were talking at the table in the lobby with the two of the Q9 guys, and we're like, "Hey guys, like don't use the SKS, like let's shake on it." And they're like, "Yeah, we hate the SKS, like such a bad gun." And then they ended up pulling it out the second map, which I thought was kind of funny. But against Q9. The S&D was like the one we choked. Like it was so dumb how like the disconnects in the tournament were, but Tech disconnected we were up 6-3, 3-3 post plant, which is really critical. It was just a really critical situation, and that favors us. And after that, they had time to discuss what to do to counter us, and we ended up losing that map. But yeah, in my book that series was 3-0, but we ended up winning the next two maps. On the Hacienda was really critical. When we were down 0-2, and we came back and won that map, and we won the next hardpoint pretty comfortably. Yeah, so that series definitely paved the way for our playoff run. The next up we played against Scars. Pretty easy. Ran through them pretty comfortably. Nothing too special there. And that was done with day one competition. And then day two competition was the interesting one, the quarterfinal matchup, right? Against Wolves. This team, like we scrimmed them, dude, and we were like destroying them in scrims. So like personally, I feel like we just got a bit overconfident and relaxed. And so like we picked like our weakest map, which is Hacienda, which we shouldn't have picked. Like I don't know why we picked that map, bro. Like that was not my decision to pick that map. That's our promo ban. So we ended up picking Hacienda because we picked Hacienda because in scrims we were playing super well on Hacienda in scrims against other Eastern teams, and we would think that would translate against Wolves, which is an Eastern team. So that's why we picked that map. And obviously we lost it. So and losing the first hardpoint for us is very critical because then we have to win the S&D, which we did bring it back. We won the S&D pretty comfortably. But then we made mistakes. We lost the first control round of defense, and that just screwed us, honestly. And then we ended up winning the next hardpoint, and we lost the S&D. Like even though we were 5-4, like we just in that series, like we just weren't brave. Like I'd say the mistakes was like on me for not calling like braver. Like I just didn't call like tactics that were brave, that put our position in a team of being brave. Like to win championships, especially on the world stage, you got to be brave, you got to be confident, you got to make plays. And like I wasn't calling that. So even though we went up 5-4, like I should have called something that was like different than a regular default, offensive push. So I'll take the blame for that. But anyways, that put us in the losers bracket against Stamina, and I guess I'm just gonna talk through every match and then like just go over some funny highlights, and then I think that'll be a good video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and watched this all the way through. And I look kind of weird with my glasses on, because the reason I'm wearing glasses is because when I was screaming the first couple of days, the first day with my contacts on, my right eye started hurting really badly, to the point where like I couldn't compete on the phone anymore. So like I'm gonna get my eye checked out within the next 2 weeks to see what's up, because I've never had this eye issue where like it hurt to the point where I couldn't even see like my phone. So that's why I played the glasses the whole event, for you guys wondering, and why I'm wearing them now, because it was crazy. I couldn't even see my phone, how badly it was hurting. But anyway, so when we went down into losers, had a team conversation what the game plan was against Stamina. We played them, we won pretty comfortably. And obviously like the casters talked about before, and how Tribe normally is for the teams I've been on, that we always start slow, and then we always bring it back, especially in the losers bracket. We were here in 2020 regional final as well. So and same as the Masters as well. But anyway, the center matchup, nothing too much to say on that. It's just I feel bad for the guys in that team. I respect them a lot, especially Narks. Narks is a great guy. I met him in person. Like, honestly, super nice guy, man. Like so easy to talk to. Same as Marvel and Gatella. Those guys are super nice. So shout out to them. And then beat them. And then the next round we played Omega. I think this is a matchup everyone was looking forward to, including me. Or just see how the Green guys match up against us. I think the crucial thing for these maps that we won was our map bans. I think that was really crucial for us getting, I was doing map bans, but like for our team to get like good maps for us, and like obviously like, this team like won't be the same for next year, but like it was critical that we didn't play S&D takeoff and S&D hardpoint slums. I think those are the two maps that we wanted to avoid, and I did a good job not getting those maps. So like to avoid S&D takeoff, I'd pick hardpoint takeoff, which is a pretty good map for us. And for example, to avoid control standoff, which is our weakest control map, I would pick S&D standoff. So anyways, that was like a strategy over there. But the Omega match, surprisingly, we won pretty easily. I just felt like there wasn't really any competition. Like, I know I'm still sick, guys, from the tournament. Like a lot of players got sick from the Commonwealth teams. So yeah, one of the Chinese players had COVID, and he didn't say anything to any of the players. So we all got sick, really, honestly. And like I was sick the whole event, dude. Like it was so stupid. But anyways, where was I? So we played Omega, and they actually picked Hardpoint. We left Hardpoint Summit in the map pool, which is also like our second weakest map. But I felt like if we picked Hardpoint Summit, we could have a better maps later in the series. So we just left that in, and they picked it, and we ended up just smoking. Like we're not a bad Hardpoint Summit team. Like the team will think that, but I honestly believe that we're not a bad Hardpoint Summit team. Like if we play the right way, we can be a really good Hardpoint Summit team. But anyways, yeah, we won the series pretty easily. The most important map was the raid S&D. I know Green teams are good in S&D, so we won that like 7-5. I think it was actually a really close matchup on S&D. But after we won the S&D, I knew we were gonna win the control, so we 3-0'd them. And the most critical match was the Wolves match. That was very intense. I think a lot of people were anticipating that matchup, and yeah, I feel like I knew if we won the series, we'd win the tournament. Because for some reason, this team was like countering us what we were doing. Like their playstyle matched up well against ours, not necessarily on a hardpoint, because they beat us in 2 of our weakest hardpoint maps. But even then, that's like really good for Eastern team to beat us on a hardpoint. So I mean, the game plan was obviously ban Hacienda, but they picked hardpoint Summit. So honestly, the map pool, it favored us, but we honestly, it favored us until the last. It favored them. Let's be with her. It favored them, because they had 2 maps in the series that they beat us on, and they had hardpoint Summit. So the series it favored them, but also like, the maps were like we were also really good on. We just choked. We just made mistakes. So the first time we lost the hardpoint Summit, definitely. I honestly expected that. Like, I mean, not really expected it, but like, I wasn't surprised we lost that map because Chinese teams are for some reason so good on hardpoint Summit. Like, we scrimmed them, and like that's where their best map. And then the S&D standoff, bro. Like this match against Wolves, I would say, is the most critical match in the tournament. Probably the most important match of the tournament. Like literally, this is the most important match. Out of any match that we played, this was the hardest one to get through, I'd say. Like, think about this: you're down 1-0 in a map, and we were down 5-2 on S&D standoff. Like, we were down 5-2, and they're on the defensive end, so we had to make the plays. And like, if we went down 2-0, we would have to play on top of that S&D control slums and an S&D firing range at the end, which we don't want to get to. So like, if we lost this map, like we would have been in such a bad position to win this tournament. So this first S&D standoff was so critical, and I remember in that moment we're down 5-2. Like, I honestly didn't even like think of the score. I was just focused on calling and believing that we would win. Like, I was believing the win. I think my teammates, I can speak for them, like, they also believed they could win too. I had no like thought of what the score was, because I knew that we could bring it back round by round. As long as the round limit doesn't hit 6, we can still bring it back. There's still hope, because you still have one more chance. You have one chance, and we brought it back slowly, dude. Like, it was crazy. If there's one series I want you guys to watch, I want you guys to watch the S&D standoff against Wolves. That was the most critical map of the tournament, I would say. And even though we brought it back, we still went down 6-5. They had a map point also, and we also made crucial plays to win that round too. So honestly, the most critical S&D. We won the OT, and you saw me getting up. I was like yelling at them because they were yelling at us. Dude. I was so passionate. I felt so passionate on that map, and yeah, that was the most critical map of the tournament, I'd say. So if someone asked me what was the most important map, this S&D standoff was the most important map of the series. Anyways, and then we went to the control slums. We won 3 defensive sided rounds. Showed some passion. And on the hardpoint takeoff was like crazy, man. That map was so crazy. We started off well, then started getting close, and like it was just so tight, dude. Like, it was fucking tight as shit. You can't rewatch on the stream, but because at the end, Tech flipped them off, and I was yelling at them too. But I had 42 kills in that map. I played really well. Like, I played so on that map, honestly. Like, in the critical situations, I feel like I played my best. I dropped 42 kills with a sub, and we closed the map out on the last tick, and that was so much passion. It felt like we won the tournament winning that map, honestly. But yeah, anyways, moving on a Sunday, we played against Inco first round. They lost. We didn't end up scrimming on Sunday because no teams were scrimming, So all we did was just play like pubs, because every team like was out of the tournament, so they were just either watching or sleeping, because like 10 a.m. So anyway, we played against Inco. The first map, obviously controversy. I'll talk a little bit about that in this video. Basically, like, the referee said you gotta keep playing. Like, there was one guy who like disconnected, but if one guy's disconnecting, the whole team still has to play. So it doesn't matter until the referee deems it like necessary to stop the game. He throws down a red card like in front of you. He'll pull you out of the game. Like, you'll restart where the guy disconnected. But like their connection was fine. They didn't. sorry, the connection was fine, but they just didn't keep playing. So like when you're playing, you don't want to, like, someone probably in the camp said like everyone stop playing, but you're not supposed to do that. And even then we restarted the map twice and we won the map. Like we told them, we told the referees, hey, like let's replay the map. Like we're down to replay the map. You know, we don't want to win this way, because I think it's just unfair that they don't get a proper opportunity to play the full map, especially at this stage of the tournament. So we asked them to replay, but they said we can't. So you know, people are saying like people are saying we don't want to replay the map, or like saying like we bribe game or something. It's on the tournaments running the tournament. It's on the staff running the tournament. And we asked to replay the map, and they said no. So obviously, you know, we're good sportsmanship. We've done this plenty of times before, like in other small tournaments, or replaying the map, or you know. But yeah, they didn't let us replay the map, and that's unfortunate. We wanted to, because we didn't want to win that way as a team. But you know, we won the S&D standoff pretty comfortably. Jez with the 1v2 collateral was pretty cool, and the control raid. Honestly, control raid was a really big map too. We lost I think we won 2 offensive rounds to win that map. But yeah, you know, Inco's a great team. You know, I've known Lucas season. I've played against him since like 2017. Like in other mobile games, I've been competing against him since other mobile games. In Fort Assault, so it was good to see him in person and play against him. But anyway, onto the final, the spicy conversation, the finals. I feel like I've been talking forever, but this video is for memories, and just sharing my memory with you guys. You know, a few days after the tournament, because I've been trying to rest because I'm sick. You know, just to say it again. But man, against Luminosity, it's definitely a nervous match for me, especially since it's my old teammates. You know, this is a match, like, you know, that I make the right decision making this team. And you know, if I lost this match, it would have haunted me forever. For losing my old teammates. But yeah, I remember during the map bans, you know, the BO7, obviously, you know, they're gonna pick Hacienda Hardpoint against us, you know, because they beat us on stage 4 and stage 3. So I did a good job on I think I did a good job on the map ban selection. The map ban selection favored us in the first couple maps, except the S&D slums. Sorry, my nose. God, it's gonna. Hopefully, you guys can hear that. But yeah, I think the most critical map choice we had was either choosing the control map for map 3 and map 3 and map 7 was the difference. I think well, we had a long team discussion whether we want to play a raid control for game 7 or a summon control for game 7. And honestly, like for me, I told the team, like we were originally gonna pick raid control for game 7, but I was like, guys, like we want to summon control. Like we're good this time, just trust me. And we did that, and I think that was a critical map ban for us, map pick, because you want to control raid. Or my thought was, if we pick control raid earlier, it's a lot easier to win a control offensive round on raid than on summit. And on summit, like if it was raid, it was game 7, dude. Anything can happen. Like even if we were on the defense, dude, like they could have like pulled some shit out of their ass, and like they could have won the fucking match. Like it's on summit is so much easier, dude. Like to hold. And I'll get into the summit game later, but you know, I think it was critical that we picked raid earlier, and have like a strong like few maps to get us a good lead, and then like, you know, I literally planned, like my whole game plan was to win the first map, you know, 50-50 on S&D slums, but it's okay if we lose that. So we 1-1, win the control raid, and then lose the hardpoint against Hacienda, win the standoff, and then play the summit game. So that was like my expectations going into that. Like, not like obviously I'm trying to win every single map, but that's what the series that like I was, you know, envisioning happening, you know. And you know, actually it turned out the opposite. We won the hardpoint pretty comfortably. We won the S&D slums. We're not a bad S&D slums team. Like in practice, we were actually pretty good. Like we were beating a lot of teams, but we were also losing it to a lot of teams. So it's like 50-50, you know, just it's all about making the right plays at the right time. And I think we did that really well. especially on our defense and our offense. Our offensive rounds were so good. Like just the calling there and just the strategy there was so good. Like it was so perfect. And anyway, so we won this in the slum. So we went up 2-1, and the control raid, I expected us to win that. Like that was a map that we had to win the series. Even though we started on the offensive side, and we went up 2-0. I think we just got over relaxed that we already had won. You know, I think for me personally, like, and I think the team vibe was like, oh, like we already won this map, and when those thoughts kind of creep up, the other team can easily come back. And I think we just unprepared those next 2 rounds, and they just came back. And when it was 2-2 on the raid control, man, it was super difficult, because if you actually watch the whole round 5 of that raid control, we were losing pretty much most of the game. Like we were down, I think, like 6 lives at one point, 75% through the game. You know, we cat B, we were down 6, and you know, you can hear in the comms, I'm like, guys, like, go away, guys, go away, go away, guys, go away. And then like we start going and like this is like literally like, you know, I switched from like my regular class to the tech smoke class, because it's critical that you smoke the rock side twice, you know, so that you can't get in. And I think you saw from my PV, I got like three crucial kills in the point, pulled out of the cloud, and they couldn't do anything, and that won the game. The gaming saving play right there, just a little credit right there, you know, little credit, I'm taking right there. So when I watch this back in the future, I remember to look back at that. And like you can see if you look at my face when we won that, I was like, come on, like I literally screamed so loud. Oh my god. And I shouldn't have screamed, because after I screamed, we lost the next. After I said let's go, after being so calm, we lost the next 2 maps. And I was like, damn, why did I say come on after that? But anyways, we had Hardpoint Hacienda. Definitely a difficult map. Everyone just had a slow start. The only person that was doing well was Tech, and then everyone kind of picked it up at the end of the game. But we just had such a slow start on that map that it was just too late to recover. So we ended up losing that map. And then the S&D standoff, dude, like I wait a break, and that map, like it goes back to what we were doing against Wolves. Like just the calling wasn't there for me. Like I'd call it what we would normally do, but like I wasn't thinking creatively, you know, like, and I'll take blame for that, where like we started pretty well, like, you know, we brought it back to 1-1, like it was close. It's just that our defense was slow, that's all. Like we just weren't being, like I'll say, like creative, where like I wasn't, you know, taking risks. And in these types of stages, you need to take risks. So I think going forward that, you know, I'm learning that, where you got to take risks, you know, which we were taking risks against, damn, hold on one second. My freaking mic just disconnected. Let's see. Oh, there we go. We're back. Sorry. Yeah, mic disconnection. I'm sorry about that, guys. You know, we're still talking here. We were doing well. I was calling good, like, risk-taking rounds earlier, but like on this S&D standoff was the second S&D where like it got close, where like you're so close to winning, like you can feel the win in your body coming. This is the one more map to win, and like I feel like when those demons start coming in your head, where you think about winning, like it just affects the way you call. And like I should have like called, like, for like me and Vig to push up middle or push up Granny, do something, you know. We're being so stagnant. Or have, like, you know, a hit back alley that I honestly didn't even call. But that's wasn't even horrible. Like we came back to we switched sides on the offensive side, and we were bringing it back. You know, it was at 1.45, and this is the point where like I knew like we're a better offensive team. And when it was 4-5, we just that's when they called something risky, and they outplayed us. You know, it's like they made a good call of taking a risk. You know, when you look at that round of 4-5, they took a risk. They all pushed middle, and they just caught us with their pants down and won the round. And that's something like you need to do in champs, is you need to take risks. That's how we won it last year too, is calling risks in critical situations. Yeah. So we ended up losing that map. It was 7-4. We could have brought it back. We were so close. And it was 4-5. If we won that round, it would have been a 5-all. I think it was 5-all. I think it was 5-all. We won on that map, but we ended up losing that. And then the last map, dude, hot Summit Control, man. That was the game, dude. That was the game. Probably, honestly, the best calls of my life, dude. Honestly, the best call of my life. like this is literally a $1 million call right here, guys. Like, I'm about to tell you here. So obviously the first round of defense, we're playing defense, and we started off slow. If you watch, like they capped like A immediately. Like he kept within like the first 20 seconds of the game, and like I'm just like, guys, like just get top control, just hold top control, just get top control, just hold top control. We're gonna win, guys. That's all you gotta do. Like literally. I know players gonna watch this back and like use this for the matches. Like, but like, dude, it's like just get hold top control. And we ended up holding that round. Super, like if they won that first defense, they would win the match. Like I think if they look back, they had opportunities to win that. There was one where they had like they had 3 of us down, and they just pushed up, and they instead of going for the cap, they just pushed and they all got wiped. Like that round, like they're gonna look at that round and be like, damn, we could have won this round, and won the tournament. You know, because I think if you watch that first control round, like it was like 12-11 in lives. They get like 3 down or something, and they just push up and they get wiped. Like they should have just capped at the point, you know. And I think that'll be a decision they'll look at for the rest of their life and think about what could have won. But winning the first defense, and on the first offense, I was like, guys, like don't use any. This is the card. I was like, guys, like don't use your operators. Like there's no point to use your operators. I don't think I said in the first offensive round. I think the first offensive round we let the team use the operators. We lost that round, and then the second defense. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was the first offensive round. Yeah, where I was like, guys, don't use your operators. Just save them for the defense. Like my goal was, since it's such a high level of competition, so much high stakes, it's gonna be so difficult to win an offensive round. So the best way to fortify a defensive win is to save your operators. Because if you have 5 operators for a defensive win, like, oh, that's GG, bro. Like, you can't do anything. So the goal, like, for offensive rounds was just to make them invest their operators so they don't have it for defense, for their offensive round. Which we did pretty well in doing. You saw they were using operators, and you can hear me when it was 2-all on the round 5. We lost the next offensive round, and we won the defense. And like when we lost the second offensive round to make it 2-2, you can hear me like in the comms. I'm like, you can hear they did listen. I'm like, guys, don't use your fucking operators. Don't use your operators. Save your operators. Save your operators, guys. This is what we're gonna do. Like we're gonna save our operators. Save them for the next round. You know, and then like cut my voice off. But I was basically telling the team like, save your operators for the last round of defense. Like we need to have our operators, because don't even use it for the next offense. Like that's how you saw like in the offensive round. We used 0 operator usage when we were up 2-1. 0 operator usage. We saved it all for the defense, and you saw like on the defense we had 5 operators. I think Vega was the only one who used his operator, because I don't know why he didn't listen. He didn't listen, bro. But like we had, basically the point was he got his operator back. We had 5 operators on the defense starting, and like that's to put ourselves in the best position to win the game. And I think that was probably the best call I ever made, like in my life playing COD Mobile, you know. And I'm thankful that the team trusted me on that. And as you saw the round, we won. And it just the few seconds, like I said in the interview, the few seconds after winning is like the best feeling that you'll always remember forever, man. Like I'll always remember the feeling we won. And yeah, just a celebration. Was super happy, and yeah, won a world championship. And you know, I know it's kind of been a long analytical video for you guys to watch. And yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions for me, put it in the comments. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like, man. You know, I'm gonna be uploading as many videos as I can talking about the tournament, and I might start streaming on YouTube actually. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, guys, have a good night, and see you guys next time. And if I stream, I will try and answer as many questions. There's a lot of funny moments. I met so many people, so many great moments with everyone, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Yeah, and I'll see you guys, and have a good morning.